Hi, and welcome to my Boso Breathe for Sobriety. Today we are covering steps 6 and 7. Allow yourself to find a comfortable seat and just settle in. As you begin to notice the inhale and exhale of your breath, I invite you to notice the natural rhythm of your breath, not trying to speed it up or slow it down, just observing it with a curious awareness. And when you're ready, perhaps you just begin to roll your shoulders back, symbolic of rolling off some of the things in our lives that may be interfering with us on our healing journey. And when you're ready, just roll your shoulders forward, maybe pressing into the healing power of what you need. Perhaps you just shake your shoulders a little bit, shaking out anything that is in your way of your healing today. Shaking your head, maybe no to the things that might interfere, and yes to what you need. And when you're ready, as you return to your breaths, let's just begin with 3 collective breaths. So you inhale, take your hands up over your head, coming up, palms touch, hands down to heart center, prayer hands. Take an inhale in and exhale. And this first breath is our breath to let go. Again, just shaking off anything that's not serving us in our practice today. When you're ready on your second breath, just take an inhale in, arms up, palms touch. Bring in your hands to your heart center, taking a deep inhale in, exhaling our breath to just let be. Any thoughts or sensations or emotions and feelings that come to us today, not judging them, just with curious awareness, allowing them to be. And I invite you to take one last inhale up. Inhale up. Arms touch, exhaling to our heart center, and this is our breath to let come. An invitation to whatever healing or peace or strength or whatever we need today just to come. So take a moment to connect here to our intention today. Steps 6 and 7 are about change. Voluntarily submitting to the change that we need and acknowledging that we're ready for the change. So as you continue your breaths here, let's connect 2 points, step 6 and 7, and I'll read those to you. 6 and 7 says, voluntarily submit to the change that God or my higher power has for me. And the changes that God wants to make in my life, and I humbly ask to remove my own character deficits. Step 6 says we are entirely ready to have God or our higher power, as you know it, to remove all of these defects of our character. And we humbly ask for step 7, those shortcomings to be removed. As you continue to breathe here, take a thought about what self-awareness means and how self-awareness leads to less suffering. The more we're aware of what we are going through and who we are in that moment, the less we have to suffer. So as we continue in our practice today, I invite you to think about in what areas do you need to restrain from doing and saying harm? harm to yourself and harm to others. Those character defects that sometimes get in our way of being kind and forgiving to ourselves and those around us. So as we continue in our easy seat, for those of you in your chair who are following Troy, just come to your mountain. Just your hands at your side in a strong position, grounding yourself in your pose. Here in heels pose, just allow your arms to rise up. Palms touching. As you bring your palms down, let's bring them down to tabletop. If you're sitting in a chair, you're just bringing them to your knees. And we're going to invite some stretching here of our limbs into our cat and our cow. So let's just, if you choose, I invite you to open up your chest, looking up, gazing up into cow. Inhaling and exhaling here for a few breaths at your rhythm. Exhaling to cat, just folding in, depleting, folding in. Another inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Releasing. Let's take another inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And I invite you to go into child's pose. Remember to stack your shoulders over your hands, your knees, hips width apart. Coming down to this posture of surrender here. And as we sit here for a moment in surrender, consider, where do you need to humble yourself in your life? Where might you need to admit some of your wrongs? What changes are needed for you to move forward? As you rest here in your child's pose, remember you can adjust the pose that's comfortable for you. If you need to bring your forearms and rest on them, or if you need to bring your pillow or bolster to rest your head, if you need to stretch out all the way, whatever position is comfortable for you as you ponder where you might need to humble yourself and what changes are needed in your life to move forward. Breathe here in your breath for sobriety of humility. Perhaps you choose to offer a prayer asking that these defects, these things that are not pleasing or serving you any longer would be removed from your life. And when you're ready, as you come up, you're on your mat to tabletop. If you're sitting in your chair, just hands rested. I'm going to move into our forward fold and begin to do our half sun salutation. So step into your forward fold. Your knees slightly bent, if it's comfortable for you. Folding over. If you're in your chair, you're just going to fold over. Inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhale, halfway lift, opening up that chest. Forward folding again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lowering into forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling into forward fold. Just taking a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Preparing for our right warrior two. So if you're sitting in your chair, you're going to adjust yourself, taking your right leg out to the side. Your left leg coming back. If you're on your mat, right foot to the front of the mat, left foot behind you, facing the short end of the mat. And when you're ready, just stretch your arms out into warrior two. Standing in the strong warrior, ready to fight changes that are facing you today. Ready to surrender to the power that is giving to you through your higher power. Remember to bend your knees slightly over your toes. Standing strong in that. And when you're ready, let's transition to our peaceful warrior, taking our left hand, placing it back on our left leg, our right hand just over, stretching over. Inhaling into that side stretch, inviting in peace. All fights don't need to be done in a raw and a strength. Some can be subtly done, just like a gentle lamb. Coming back forward into your warrior two. And when you're ready, coming down to our side angle, bringing our right arm to our right knee, forearm, leaning forward, taking that left arm, placing it over our head, watching the alignment of your knee aligned to your toes. Inhaling, stretching in on the exhale to that stretch. Bending to the side, recognizing that sometimes in life we need to adjust to some things. Continue to breathe here. When you're ready, just come back with your knees, legs together into a forward fold. As you prepare to transition to that left warrior. Inhale, rising up into that left warrior, placing your left foot at the front of the mat, your right foot to the long side. If you're sitting in the chair, you're going to move your left to the edge of the mat. Take those hands into warrior two, strong in your pose, letting them fall where you need to, what's comfortable for you and your strength. Bending that front left leg, just bending into that pose, inhaling, exhaling, feeling that stretch. When you're ready, I invite you to go into your peaceful warrior, taking your right hand, placing it back on your right leg. Inhaling with that hand over, just stretching into that, receiving the peace, opening up your chest, breathing into the side body in that peaceful warrior. Transitioning back through warrior two. Coming into that side angle, taking that left arm, placing it on your left thigh, taking that right hand up over your head. Again, reaching out, opening up your chest, gazing at the ground or whatever's comfortable for you. Into that side angle, breathing here for sobriety, acknowledging that the journey takes some change and some agility. When you're ready, coming back to that forward fold as you inhale, exhale down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back into that forward fold. If you're standing, I invite you to come down into tabletop. If you're in your chair, bring your hands to your knees. And we're going to fold back into your child's pose. So take your hands shoulder width apart, spread open your knees. You can allow your toes to touch if you like. Coming into your child's pose. If you're seated, you can just bring your hands down to a rest in your child's pose, folding your arms. Remember, for your child's pose here, rest how you like. If you choose to rest your head on your forearms, or if you need to stretch out. Perhaps you might want to use a bolster if that feels good for you. Whatever the stretch, this is your practice. And then our child's pose. Let's come back again to our intention, focusing on what changes you might want to make to your life to move forward. Notice any thoughts, any sensations in your body or feelings stirring within your soul. Notice them as a curious witness and an observer. No judgment. In this posture of surrendering, laying down anything that you need. Take a few breaths in and out at your own rhythm. And with your next inhale, let's prepare for our savasana, our final rest. If you're on your mat, this is where you get to lay back. If you are sitting in your chair, it's where you get your other chair and prop up your legs and get comfortable. Just taking a few moments here for savasana. Maybe you want to place your hands up as a posture of surrender, or you can place them down to be more grounded. Breathing in here. Surrendering in steps 6 and 7. Taking an inventory of ourselves. Inviting God or a higher power to help us to address those in our life. When you're ready, you're welcome to just pause and continue in your savasana whenever you like. When you're ready to end it, just roll on. If you're laying on your mat, roll onto your left side into your fetal position for a moment, just to be held. If you're sitting in your chair, just feel the chair beneath you being supported, your legs lifted, knowing you are held, you are strengthened, you are made strong in your surrender to the help that is needed on this journey by God or your higher power as you know it to be. Use your hands when you're ready just to push yourself up. If you're sitting in your chair, continue to sit there. If you're on your mat, come back into a final easy seat. Maybe move your hands to allow yourself to come to this present moment and taking a few breaths in and out. Let's close with 3 collective breaths. When you're ready, I invite you to take a deep breath in, arms up, palms touch, hands coming to heart center. This breath is to let go. When you're ready, another breath in, deep breath in, arms rise up, palms touch, coming back to prayer center. This breath is to let be anything that needs to be here for you today. Last biggest breath of the day, inhale, rise up, palms touch, bringing hands to heart center, inviting to let come anything that needs to come to strengthen you on your journey today. As you continue to breathe, the breath for sobriety, recognizing that this journey happens one breath, one moment at a time. Thank you for spending your time with me today. May you have peace. May you have joy. And may you live free. Until next time, this is Dr. Sherry with Stretching for Sobriety, signing off. Shalom.